Hi, I'm Bob Simons, one half of Simons and Goodwin, and unfortunately the other half, Rennie Goodwin, is at her home, which is about 135 miles away. But Rennie and I would like to take this opportunity to thank both Heidi and Kylie Hinckley for inviting us to be a part of the library's virtual mini music sessions. We've performed at the library numerous times over the past 10 years. Back then, I took a shot in the dark and called the library's music director, and I told her of my family's connection with Jonesport and that I would really consider it an honor to be able to perform there. We had a wonderful conversation, and she decided to take a chance on us. That lady was the late Carol Donovan. Over the years, both Rennie and I became good friends with Carol, and we especially loved to see her daily Englishman Bay pictures that were posted on Facebook. As many of you know, those pictures inspired me to write a song about the experience of seeing those images throughout a complete year. The song is entitled Carol's Song, and we would like to dedicate it and our set to the memory of a wonderful lady, Carol Donovan.
On Englishman Bay, the seasons are changing. Sunrise each morning gives it away. Sliding along from Rock Bluffs to Rock Island, summer to autumn, a little each day. Summer to autumn, a little each day. Lobster boats show in the light of the dawning, pulling their traps, then rolling away, stopping and hauling and moving along to harvest the treasures of Englishman Bay, to harvest the treasures of Englishman Bay. And the sunrise, it may bring the sailors a red warning. Birds on the shore sing a chorus of day. A palette of colors spreads across the new morning, and the sky slowly brightens over Englishman Bay. The sky slowly brightens over Englishman Bay. Lavender crimson, the blueberry fields, a beauty to see on a bright autumn day, flowing in waves in a freshening breeze. But it can't match the sunrise on Englishman Bay. It can't match the sunrise on Englishman Bay. Rock Island hides sunrise in the winter. Slowly it steals to the north every day. Then springtime arrives and it's reached open water to stretch a gold pathway on Englishman Bay, to stretch a gold pathway on Englishman Bay. And the sunrise, it may bring the sailors red warning. Birds on the shore sing a chorus of day. A palette of colors spreads across the new morning, and the sky slowly brightens over Englishman Bay. the sky slowly brightens over Englishman Bay.
Many moons ago, there was this lovely lady by the name of Elizabeth Cotton, and she cleaned for people. That's what she did for a living. And one day she put her mops and cleaning agents down and her dish rags and picked up a guitar instead. Picked it up upside down and left-handed and taught herself how to play that way. And many folk artists have covered her songs, and we're going to do one for you right now. If Bob is ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, okay, then.
Everything I got is done and home. Everything I got is done and home. I'm going all safe in a wooden shoe. Gonna find a guy that I can tell my troubles to. Oh Lord, it means my shade sugary. Everything I got is done and home. Everything I got is done and home. Play that for me. Everything I got is done and home. Everything I got is done and home. Listen here, I got a little secret I ain't gonna tell. I'm going to heaven in a brown pea shell. Oh Lord, it means I share sugary. Everything I got is done and home. Everything I got is done and home.
Yes, sir.
My grandparents came from Jonesport, and they grew up there around the turn of the 20th century. They told us many Jonesport stories, and some of those stories inspired me to write this song. My name is Frank Ali, come listen to me. Like my fathers before me, my home is the sea. I roll with the combers and ride on the tides. Alone, I'm a Jonesport fisherman.
big Fundy Bay to harvest the ocean and gather my pay. But the work, it ain't easy, the catches are poor, the trawlers take all the big money. The old men tell tales of winters ago, when forests of masts stood covered with snow, and the captains would gather and tell of their days on the wheel, on the cold blue Atlantic. Now the winters are quiet, the big ships have gone, the boat needs repairing, the lines are all torn. Beale's Island is white, I can see through the fog, and the springtime is so slow in coming. My name is Frank Alley, come listen to me. Like my fathers before me, my home is the sea. I roll with the combers and ride with the tide. Alone I'm a Jonesport fisherman,
A fisherman,
fisherman. Going downtown with my hat in my hand, looking for a woman, ain't got no man. Might as well be looking for a needle in the sand. If you're looking for a woman, ain't got no man. Beep, beep, pop, diddly down. Rag mama, come on, baby, won't you do that rag? With a man who was holding his hand, I had a pistol in my pocket, my jack in my back. I ran out with half a brick. I said, I'm gonna get that so-and-so. Skip-deep-pop, diddly-down. Rag, mama, come on, baby, we want to do that rag. I'm gonna do that rag now. Oh. Gal would treat me so. Love a man in my back door. Hey, hey, mama, don't you know? You're gonna reap just what you sow. Beep-bop-diddly-down. Right, mama, come on, baby, don't you do that rag? Play? Sure!
two.
One for your buddy,
And one for you.
get a wife and a sweetheart too. And if your wife don't love you, then the sweetheart do. Sweet-dee-bop, diddly-dum. Flag, mama,
Come on,
baby, won't you do that right? You know I'm going uptown with my hat in my hand, looking for a woman
ain't got no man.
I'm the mobile for needle and sand. Looking for a woman ain't got no man. Sweet-dee-bop, diddly-dum. Rag mama, come on, baby, won't you do that rag? Ragging on out now.
You was a trickin' me.
There's a highway that runs from the east coast of Florida all the way along the Gulf Coast into Texas and almost all the way across Texas. It's called the Gulf Coast Highway. And along that highway are many migrant workers who will obviously take off and go to wherever the jobs are. And of course they're changing during the year, so they're constantly going to work, coming back home, and going to work again, taking off and going to work. This is a song about that situation, and it was written by Nancy Griffith.
Gulf Coast Highway, he worked the rails, he worked the rice fields with their cool dark wells, he worked the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico. The only thing we've ever owned is this old house here by the road. And when he dies, he says he'll catch some blackbird's wing. He will fly away to heaven come some sweet blue bonnet spring.
She walks through springtime when I am home. Her days are sweet, her nights are warm. The seasons change, the jobs will come, the flowers fade. This old house feels so alone when the work takes me away. And when she dies, she says she'll catch some blackbird's wing. She will fly away to heaven come some sweet blue bonnet spring.
Highway 90, the jobs are gone. We kept our garden, we set the sun. This is the only place on earth blue bonnets grow. Once a year they come and go at this old house here by the road. And when we die, we say we'll catch some blackbird's wing. We will fly away to heaven come some sweet blue bonnet spring. Yes, when we die, we say we'll catch some blackbird's wing. We will
some sweet blue bonnet spring.
Over 100 years ago on Thanksgiving weekend in 1898, Miss Emily Cobb crossed Boston's India Wharf and stepped aboard the Portland-bound steamship. She was so excited about her upcoming singing debut the next day in a Portland, Maine church that she paid absolutely no attention to the storm clouds that were covering the moon and stars on that cold night. Bowdoin student George Keniston was very anxious to get back to his home in Yarmouth after having spent a few days down in the Boston area. The Schmidts, with their 2 young children, were on the last leg of a long journey home from Europe. Passengers were settling down into their staterooms or onto the couches of the plush saloon as crewmen shoveled coal into the roaring boilers. The ship's whistle blew into the cold night air as snow started falling softly on the deck. Captain Hollis Blanchard steered the big boat out of the harbor, only to encounter returning ships that were seeking shelter from the approaching storm.
From Boston Harbor she set out one cold November day. Outside she turned her bow bound, rolling down to Casco Bay. The gray skies they settled down. The captain paid no heed. Began to back around. She's homeward bound and at full speed along the Essex County coast. The snow began to fall. She slipped as silent as a ghost. Soon she was not seen at all. Her lights were seen off Cape and shore. The heavy snow it came. Her lights were never seen no more. The nor'east blew a hurricane, and she tossed and drifted till the dawn. Her destiny was clear. Cold against the storm. No hope upon this ship of fear. Daylight came to howling winds. She's battered stern to bow, with the cruel Atlantic pouring in. The dark green waters took her down. On the coast of Maine they stood and prayed for the Portland to roll home. But around Cape Cod they count the dead in the wreckage drifting on the
Boston Harbor she sailed. One cold November day, outside she turned her bow above, rolling down the Casco